This is an interesting story, and I'm not quite sure what I think of this story just yet. When I saw the title, I was like, "Huh." Now, I think as a movie, Call of Duty can work just because of the nature of the movie. Now, I like the original Call of Duty franchise dealing mostly with World War II. I like World War II games, games based on World War II combat. I think these games work perfectly fine. I think it's an intriguing war, right? It's a topic that it's easy to get into with all the history and lore involved, and those games are enjoyable to play. Again, personally, I think they're enjoyable to play. So let's see what this article has to say. Call of Duty movie aims for top Call of Duty movie aims for Top Gun Maverick level at Paramount. Okay. And I wonder if they're gonna go with the modern warfare sci-fi ish feel. I think some of the later Call of Duty games, this was the height of Halo, and Call of Duty doing its thing. I think Call of Duty at one point was trying so hard to out Halo that they started incorporating things that kind of made the game feel like something completely opposite of what it was. That personally, I think that Paramount and Activision are officially teaming up to bring Call of Duty to the big screen, and they're comparing it to Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun Maverick is some big shoes to fill. Very big shoes to fill. The project is moving forward under the new Paramount and Skydance leadership, with CEO David Ellison said to be closely involved. Activision will serve as creative partner on the film. And the thing about Call of Duty is you're not really bound by any specific storyline or lore. Really. I mean, you could say that there's some kind of bounding line that you got to stick within, but really it's just a war movie. That's all this is going to turn out to be. That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. The hype of the Call of Duty franchise might actually give this some legs. Who knows? This isn't the first attempt at a Call of Duty movie. Back in 2018, Activision Blizzard Studios tried to get one going with Sicario 2 director Stefano Salima attached, but the project stalled. And I think the project probably stalled because it's like I said, I think this is a very weird. If I was a director, I would say, okay, what's the storyline? Like, what are we going with here? What are we doing? Are we just telling some modern espionage war story, which that can always work? Who's going to be our main character? Like I said, you actually have a lot of leeway with this. And like I said, the Call of Duty, like I said several times, the Call of Duty franchise could really drive this to success. But I don't know if modern Call of Duty games has garnered the attention and the celebration of the franchise of old. Maybe it has. I haven't really played Call of Duty in years. It's been years. Like I said, when they started competing with Halo, that's when I was like, this is not really the game that I loved when I first started playing. With Paramount now backing it, the film has a stronger chance of actually happening, according to Deadline. A proven franchise, Call of Duty is one of the most successful video game franchises of all time. It has been the number one best-selling game series in the US for 16 consecutive years, with more than 500 million copies sold worldwide and hundreds of millions of players. Yeah, it's a big deal. The thing is, how do you leverage that success? And I mean, maybe it's easy. Maybe it's a lot easier than I think. but I don't know how easy it's going to be to leverage the success of the game to propel people to go to a movie theater and watch a movie based on this video game franchise. As stated earlier, which game you going with? What's the plot? This is really going to have to be, I tell you how I think this can work. This can work if it is really, really plot driven. If they come up with such, what it's going to work out to be is a spy thriller with heavy war elements. I think that's probably the best way you can make this work, because otherwise you just have a generic war movie. There's a bunch of war movies out there. This is going to have to stand out somehow. Call of Duty Black Ops 7, the latest game in the franchise, gets released in November. Maybe they're trying to, coincide this movie with that. Maybe whatever that plot is going to be, this is what they're going to go with. They definitely got a lot of material to work with. I'm just wondering, how exactly do you make this a success? When I saw the article, I'm in my mind thinking, this is not a guaranteed success. So whatever they have, if they're moving forward, especially if they're comparing this to Top Gun Maverick, like I said, when I saw Top Gun Maverick, I was extremely shocked at how well that movie paired with the original. I almost couldn't believe it. Like, I left the movie theater in disbelief. Like, oh my goodness. That literally felt like a continuation of that original movie. How did they manage this? I have no idea. David Ellison, a longtime fan of the series, compared the studio's approach to the work done on Top Gun Maverick, saying, "The goal is to meet the high expectations of fans and deliver a movie worthy of the franchise." Well, all right. You got some big shoes to fill. As a lifelong fan of Call of Duty, this is truly a dream come true. From the first Allied campaigns in the original Call of Duty through the Modern Warfare and Black Ops, I've spent countless hours playing this franchise that I absolutely love, said Ellison. Being entrusted by Activision and players worldwide to bring this extraordinary storyline universe to the big screen is both an honor and a responsibility that we don't take lightly. That's actually good to hear. Because I don't think most people in entertainment that take on some of these big franchises understand the responsibility thrust upon them. And a lot of times the ball is dropped. We're approaching this film with the same disciplined, uncompromising commitment to excellence that guided our work on Top Gun Maverick, ensuring it meets the exceptionally high standards this franchise and its fans deserve. I can promise that we are resolute in our mission to deliver a cinematic experience that honors the legacy of this one in a million brand, thrilling longtime fans of Call of Duty, while captivating a whole new generation. All right. Rob Kostich, president of Activision, said the focus will be bringing the action and storytelling that has defined Call of Duty to a new medium. He added that the film will expand upon the elements that made the game a success while aiming to attract new audiences. As long as they don't, in their aim to attract new audiences, abandon their original audience, this might work. Throughout its history, Call of Duty has captured our imagination with incredible action and intense stories that have brought millions of people together from around the world, and that focus on making incredible Call of Duty games remains unwavering, said Kostich. With Paramount, we have found a fantastic partner who will work with to take this visceral, breathtaking action to the big screen in a defining cinematic moment. The film will honor and expand upon what has made this franchise great in the first place, and we cannot wait to get started. Our shared goal is quite simple: to create an unforgettable blockbuster movie experience that our community loves, and one that also excites and inspires new fans of the franchise. That is definitely they're taking on a big task here. They're taking on a big task, and they definitely got my interest. I want to see where this goes and if they meet that high standard of Top Gun Maverick.